What is up? We are wrestling maniacs out there worldwide. It's the best one, Donnie here, back with this week's hot takes. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course, you already know, the grind is real. And the reason why we are recording this hot takes later on, because usually with these, I try to do them Sunday morning going into afternoon, is because literally I have been running around all day long, busy. I actually went to Hartford, Connecticut earlier today for Connecticon. That's right. This was my first time going to Connecticon, and this was such a last-minute plan that I was going to do this. I found out that they had this Connecticon going on, and I got the opportunity to meet AEW superstars Penelope Ford, Kip Sabian, Butcher, and Blade. And originally, I was just going to add the clips, like, to, hot takes or, the talk show, but I did a whole vlog for that, which should definitely be coming out within the next week or so you definitely don't want to miss that. It was better than I expected it to be, and I cannot wait for you guys to see that vlog because it was a pretty cool experience, and all the guys and even Penelope were really nice. But this week on Hot Takes, a lot of you guys are probably wondering why we are not going to be talking about WWE going from PG to TV-14. That is because earlier in the week, we recorded that, Danny and I, on Extras, which, if you want to go check that out, it will be right up there if you want to check that video out. I feel like Danny and I, we give really good opinions and takes on that, and I couldn't wait until today. I had to do it, so that's what I do with Extras. I just, do stuff like that. But I thought that this week, on Hot Takes, we can talk about RIC FLAIR's tweet at Chris Jericho. So, after Dynamite on Wednesday, RIC FLAIR posted this tweet at Chris Jericho. Living legend in your own mind. Shawn Michaels wannabe. RIC FLAIR never will be. Woo! Where did you buy that cheap suit? Obviously not from at Gents Playbook. So I'm assuming RIC FLAIR is like he has like a partnership or something with them, maybe. But I thought that this would make a really cool discussion because I want to, talk about who I think is better, Chris Jericho or RIC FLAIR. Two of these guys they both have had incredible, amazing careers in the wrestling business, and they both have done a lot. First-class Hall of Famers, obviously. You all know RIC FLAIR is a two-time WWE Hall of Famer, and, Chris Jericho is definitely going to be a WWE Hall of Famer at some point in his career. That's the thing. Between these two, they both have great careers. RIC FLAIR, wasn't really around my time, so maybe my take will be a little bit biased here. But we all know RIC FLAIR, absolutely killed it with the NWA and WCW in the early days with, like, the territories and stuff. RIC FLAIR was, the nature boy, one of a kind. And then, of course, Chris Jericho, he started his career off, doing stuff for New Japan, working in, Mexico, and then, going to WCW, where they were definitely underutilizing him, to WWE, and now All Elite Wrestling. And I think, in my opinion, Chris Jericho, just my opinion here, I think Chris Jericho has a better career than RIC FLAIR. And I already know what the first thing you guys are thinking that are tuning into this. RIC FLAIR's a 16-time world champion. What are you talking about, Donnie? 16-time! Freaking jet flying, high flying, woo! I don't even know. He always says the best stuff. But I gotta go with Chris Jericho. And maybe it is because my age, I grew up with Chris Jericho, so I got to see Jericho more. I did see Flair in his later years in the wrestling business. But for me personally, I gotta say, this take that Ric Flair had on Twitter is a bad take because Jericho is a freaking legend in this business. What this man has done in his career has been absolutely amazing, especially, going to WCW and, being one of the top cruiserweights in WCW, which at the time was very underrated. Which, by the way, speaking of cruiserweights, Danny and I and Ben, we have such a really cool discussion on that about the best cruiserweights. And we actually talk about Chris Jericho and WCW on the We Are Wrestling Talk Show. That you guys should check out. But when it comes down to it, I really think that Jericho has accomplished a little bit more than Ric Flair. Yes, Ric Flair has won 16 world championships. I will not take away what this man has done for the business whatsoever. But with Chris Jericho, this man, went to WCW and then he bet on himself. He left WCW, went to WWE. At first, wasn't really doing much, but then, he won the Intercontinental Championship. And then, Vengeance 2001, he became the undisputed friggin' champion. And Chris Jericho has just made such a great career, through the years. Friggin' the walls of Jericho. But then, Ric Flair's got the figure four leg lock. And that's the thing, about Chris Jericho's career has been, amazing. Just like Ric Flair through the years, they both have evolved their game. And that's why they have had such long, crazy, legendary careers in this wrestling business. And Ric Flair, is one of the best. But when you talk about in-ring work, you gotta go Jericho over Ric Flair. Ric Flair, always knew how to work the crowd. He was great, at calling the matches and stuff. But when it comes down to it, Jericho, he's been, doing the new style, the old style, and the good style, which, for me personally, the good style was definitely the 2000s because that's when wrestling it was at a really good pace. It wasn't too fast, it wasn't like a monkey circus show, and but it wasn't also very slow. It was also very entertaining, and it was always telling a story. And that's the thing, Chris Jericho, has always told great stories. And the thing is with Jericho is he can always work as a face and a heel. Ric Flair, in my opinion, was not really a good baby face whatsoever. But when it came to being a heel, Ric Flair obviously is one of the best in the game, the dirtiest player in the game. But I think that Jericho, he definitely knows how to be a babyface, and also his heel work is phenomenal. And that's the thing about Chris Jericho. I really feel like he is a legend. And for Ric Flair to even, take shots saying Shawn Michaels wannabe, you want to talk about a Shawn Michaels wannabe, Dolph Ziggler. I love Dolph Ziggler, don't get me wrong, but that man is a Shawn Michaels wannabe. And how is Jericho a Shawn Michaels wannabe when that's the one move that Jericho does not do is the super kick. And almost everybody else in AEW does super kicks. That part, I don't understand why he would compare him to Shawn Michaels. That's the thing I don't understand about the wrestling business, all right? And I don't know if it's just me, but why the hell does everybody compare good wrestlers to Shawn freaking Michaels? Do not get me wrong. Shawn Michaels is a freaking GOAT. He's one of my top 5. Friggin' easily, he's one of my Mount Rushmores of wrestling. But why do people keep trying to compare Adam Cole to Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles to Shawn Michaels? Freaking now Chris Jericho? I just don't understand it whatsoever. There's never going to be another Shawn Michaels. But it is absolutely freaking nuts that Ric Flair went out. I don't know if this is Flair, trying to get some attention because he does have his last match coming up. So maybe he wants to, get some, people's eyes on him, which, hey, by all means, you got to do what you got to do to get, these buys for his last match ever. But just maybe because I grew up on Jericho more than Ric Flair, I like personally Jericho more than Flair, but I think Flair's takes are not really the best takes. And I think that maybe this is just a work, maybe. I don't know. Because I do see that they do still both follow each other on social medias and stuff. And I don't know if Jericho has came out yet and said anything, or if Ric Flair has, said anything since then. I really don't know. I'm just, talking about the tweets. But another thing that we are going to talk about here on, the hot takes here, because this is something that's been very hot, is Jordan Grace's comments about Chris Benoit, how he can't hang with the wrestlers today. I have been, seeing this debate all week long, and Chris Benoit is a very sensitive topic in the wrestling world. I know a lot of, wrestling YouTubers out there talk about Chris Benoit. For me personally, I don't fully feel comfortable talking about Chris Benoit because of the circumstances that happened. So I want you guys to know that I'm going to try to keep this one short and sweet because, I don't believe in what Chris Benoit did. I get he had, the CDC, in his head. He wasn't all up there due to the concussions and, not really taking care of his health and, the steroids and stuff like that. But the wrestler Chris Benoit, Jordan Grace's comments are absolutely delusional in my opinion. Chris Benoit was one of the best wrestlers to friggin' lace a pair of boots. And that's what makes the situation even more shittier. Is that, when, Benoit freaking did what he did, it makes it such a shitty situation because, yes, his accolades, all that work that Chris Benoit put in, all those years that Chris Benoit put in, and then, made that big mistake there, killing his son and killing his wife, it has taken a lot away from him. And it's just, very sad, the whole situation that happened. I remember, being on vacation as a kid and then just seeing the news about, Chris Benoit, being dead and then, killing his family and stuff. And that's the thing that makes the situation even more shittier. But when it comes to being a wrestler, despite everything that, has happened, I think Chris Benoit can, if he was still alive to this day and let's say, he didn't kill his family and, he was still in the wrestling business, I'm sorry, but nobody can match Chris Benoit in today's wrestling. I think Benoit would be putting on 5-star matches easily, just like Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, because in that day, they knew how to work, and it wasn't slow, it wasn't fast, it was just right. Nowadays, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the high spots. I enjoy AEW, and they do a lot of high spots and super kicks and Canadian destroyers and stuff. But when it comes to the pace of wrestling, I'm one of them that doesn't mind what's going on right now in today's wrestling, but I do see it from the other side, the old school fans out there, the Jim Cornette marks out there that, it's a circus because, they overuse moves and it's exposed the wrestling business a little bit because at times it comes off very fake. And that's the thing. Chris Benoit knew how to work, and he was one of the best in the ring, and that's what makes the situation so shitty. Because if, the situation didn't happen, nobody would be saying that, oh, Benoit can't last with today's wrestlers. Nobody would be saying that whatsoever. And that's what makes it shitty because he was one of the best wrestlers, but we can't really say he's one of the best wrestlers because of what freaking happened. And it sucks, what happened. I still, to this day, I overthink about the whole Chris Benoit situation. But for Jordan Grace, who hasn't worked with Chris Benoit or like clearly hasn't done enough research for Chris Benoit because she went out and made an apology about this whole thing. You can't go out there and make those type of comments. You can't. The people that can make those comments about Chris Benoit are the ones who worked with him because they're the ones that actually know if Chris Benoit probably can last with friggin' the wrestlers today because they worked with him. And I think easily Chris Benoit could because he was one of those wrestlers in WWE. He, he really didn't have a character. He was more of just a wrestler. He did, the headbutts, he did the crossface and stuff like that. So I want to keep it short and sweet. I just think her comments are absolutely delusional. And, despite like all the whole situation that happened with Chris Benoit, I really think that that's why a lot of his credibility is gone is because of what he did. And, personally for me, I don't respect Chris Benoit whatsoever, but I'm going to end it right there with hot takes this week. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about, Ric Flair's tweets and, of course, Jordan Grace's comments. If you guys enjoyed this week's hot takes, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Links down in the description below. You can go follow We Are Wrestling over on their social medias, and of course my personal social medias and other YouTube pages. All the links down below. And to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.